I'm Brooke, and I am so excited that you're watching Church at Home today, because we're starting a series called Same God, where we will be looking at different stories from the Bible to learn more about how lots of things change throughout time, but how God always stays the same. We'll learn more about this as we hear our Bible story, but if there's one thing I want you to remember today, it's this. The God who saved the 3 men in the fire is the same God I can worship. One way we worship God is by standing, singing, and dancing. So go ahead and join me as we worship by singing this song called King Jesus.
We're going to sing a song called King Jesus. We lift our praises, we lift our hands to the only King there is. Let's sing together.
I'll raise my hands in worship. I'll use my mouth to sing. And with my whole heart, Jesus, I believe. Jesus, you're filled with power. As you say, come to me. And with my whole heart, Jesus, I believe.
Let's sing praise.
And praise, praise, praise to the King, my King, Jesus. And praise, praise, praise to the King, my King, Jesus. I'll follow, I'll depend. You're my comfort, you're my friend. And praise, praise, praise to the King, my King, Jesus.
Come on, let's sing For Me.
For me you died on the cross, then rose for all to see. You have my whole heart, Jesus, I believe. You are with God in heaven, but you're still close to me. You have my whole heart, and Jesus, I believe. Praise, praise, praise to the King, my King, Jesus. Praise, praise, praise to the King, my King, Jesus. I'll follow, I'll depend. You're my comfort, you're my friend. Praise, praise, praise to the King, my King, Jesus. Today and tomorrow, I trust you, I trust you. Today and tomorrow, I love you, Lord, I love you. Oh, today and tomorrow, Jesus, I'll trust you, I'll trust you. Today and tomorrow, I love you, I love you. Praise, praise, praise to the King, my King, Jesus. Praise, praise, praise to the King, my King, Jesus. Oh, I'll follow, I'll depend. You're my comfort, you're my friend. Praise, praise, praise to the King, my King, Jesus.
Come on, one more time. Let's sing praise.
Praise, praise, praise to the King, my King, Jesus.
Great job singing out, everybody. Today we're going to hear a story all about 3 men who chose to worship God no matter what. You can find it right here, the Bible. God's holy book for us. Every story in this book is real and true, and the God that the three men worship in the Bible story is the same God that you and I can worship too. Check out what I mean.
Stories of the Bible, the fiery furnace. There once were three Jewish men named Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego.
Hey!
When they were very young, they were taken from Israel to live in a place called Babylon. At that time, the king of Babylon was a man named Nebuchadnezzar.
That's it. Almost there.
And he made a gold statue that was 90 feet tall.
Perfect.
The king sent a message for everyone to come to the dedication of his statue. When everyone had assembled, it was declared that people of all races, nations, and languages would bow before the statue and worship King Nebuchadnezzar's statue when they heard the sound of musical instruments. If anyone refused, they would be thrown into a fiery furnace. So at the sound of the musical instruments, all the people bowed to the ground and worshiped. But Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego did not, because they were Jewish and would only bow to the one true God. Some of the wise men of Babylon went to the king and told him that Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego refused to bow to the statue.
What?
This made the king very angry, and he asked Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego if it was true that they would not bow to the statue. Then he said he would give them one more chance to bow down, and if they did not bow, they will be thrown into the fire. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego replied that they didn't need to defend themselves against the king. They said, "If we are thrown into the blazing furnace, the God whom we serve is able to save us. He will rescue us from your power, your majesty. But even if he doesn't, we want to make it clear to you, your majesty, that we will never serve your gods or worship the gold statue you have set up." The king was so angry with Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego that he commanded the furnace to be heated 7 times hotter than usual. Then he ordered Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego to be bound and thrown in the fire. The fire was so hot that it killed the soldiers that threw them in. So Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego fell into the flames. But suddenly, the king jumped up and said to his advisors, "Didn't we tie up 3 men and throw them in the furnace?" The advisors said, "Yes." But the king said, "Look, I see 4 men walking around the fire, and the 4th looks like a god." Then the king shouted to Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, "Come out!" So Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego stepped out of the fire, and everyone saw that the fire had not touched them. They didn't even smell of smoke. Then Nebuchadnezzar praised the one true God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who had rescued them from the fire. And the king made a new command that anyone who spoke a word against the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego would be greatly punished. Then he promoted Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in his court. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego trusted in God and were willing to die rather than worship any god but their own God.
Isn't it amazing that Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego refused to worship anyone, really anything, but the one true God? The threat of a fiery furnace didn't matter because they trusted God and would only worship Him. And as a result, everyone in the kingdom began to worship God too. It is so amazing that the 3 men had peace in their hearts no matter what was going to happen, because they really knew who God was. Check out what the Bible says in Philippians 4:6-7a. Don't worry about anything. No matter what happens, tell God about everything. Ask and pray and give thanks to Him. Then God's peace will watch over your hearts and your minds. We can choose to worship God because we know that no matter what happens, God will be with us in it. Let's sing that verse together.
what happens, tell God about everything. Ask and pray and give thanks to Him. Don't worry about anything, no matter what happens. Tell God about everything. Ask and pray and give thanks to Him. Then God's peace will watch over your hearts and your mind. Then God's peace will watch over your hearts and your minds, your hearts and your minds. Philippians 4:6-7. Philippians 4:6-7. Don't worry about anything, no matter what happens. Tell God about everything. Ask and pray and give thanks to Him. Don't worry about anything, no matter what happens. Tell God about everything. Ask and pray and give thanks to Him. Then God's peace will watch over your hearts and your mind. Then God's peace will watch over your hearts and your minds, your hearts and your minds, your hearts and your minds.
I'm so glad we don't need to worry about anything because we worship a good God who is in control. He was in control when the men were thrown into the fiery furnace, and He is in control now. He has always been in control, and He always will be. But not everything is consistent like God. People change and things change, but we can count on God to never change. He will always love us and be with us, and that's why we worship Him. And speaking of changes, let's check out some of the really cool things that have changed over the years in an episode of Throwback. Hey there, I'm Madeline.
And I'm Emmy.
Have you ever wondered what things were like before self-driving cars, switches, and electric scooters? Like way back in the 1900s, before we were even born?
I heard the phones used to be attached to a wire, and even when they took pictures, they couldn't even see the picture until like weeks later.
I heard that too. It's like another world. To help us learn a little more about what life was like back then, I've called in Dad.
I'm Dad.
We're going to look at some things that have changed a lot since then. What we wear, how we play, how we connect, even what we eat. But there's one thing that never changes. God!
That's right, this is Throwback!
Well, I think we're kicking off the series with one of the best throwbacks. You ready, Madeline?
Oh yeah, this is going to be a good one. It's video games! See, now we have Nintendo Switch, Xbox, PS5, games on watches, games on phones, games on iPads, while you wait your turn at the dentist, games on everything. But here's a little throwback fact for you. When my dad was growing up in the 80s and 90s, video games were still pretty new. The original Super Mario Bros. Came out in 1985, and it was the first game where you could actually scroll sideways as your character moved. Cool, right?
Wow, that Mario dude just never ages. But even though we still have Mario today, the games have gotten so much better. The graphics, the creativity, the animation, everything is better. I mean, a lot can change in 40 years, but one thing that never changes is God. Our God is the same God who was around when our parents were growing up, and even the same God who we read stories about in the Bible.
Yeah, like when God saved those guys in the fire, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego were thrown into an actual fiery furnace for disobeying the king's order to worship his statue because they would only bow to the one true God. And because of that, God didn't even let a hair on their head be burned.
And my favorite part of the story is how everyone saw that God had done an amazing miracle and saved the men from burning. So they all chose to worship God too, even the king.
And this God they worshipped, the God who saved them in the fire, is the same God we can worship today. I mean, how cool that even when everything else in the world seems to change, our God is still the same. He has the same power and the same love for us today. We can trust that when we go through hard times, He never leaves us.
So cool. Well, Madeline, I think it's time we have your dad show us the throwbacks for today. I'm dying to see what he brings, and I bet he'll have some good stuff to teach us about how we can worship God too.
Dad, bring it in.
All right, girls, now check this out.
Whoa.
Right? Look at all
My
this.
goodness.
First of all, that TV's huge. Second of all, why does everything have so much wires?
So we can connect to the TV.
You actually used to play with all of these?
Yes, that was the next level controller.
It's so big.
That was better than this. It's the next step from this one. See? Look at that. You were really cool if you had one of those.
So you're telling me this is just the controller?
Yes. Look how cool the big buttons are. Everything. This is great. Okay, now check this out.
At least it's wireless.
Yes. See?
Heavy. That's heavy.
This is the first ever wireless Game Boy you can bring everywhere with you.
It's all in black and white? No
Yes.
color?
Yes, it's the first ever Super Mario Brothers.
You die instantly.
What? What do you? Hold it in your hands. Let me see this.
Wow.
See? Look how
You're good
I
at
am.
that.
I know. Dad still got it. So you guys already know the struggle. When this thing glitches, you know what you have to do? Take it out. You blow on it.
Okay.
You put it back in. Instantly, it starts working again. That's it.
You just breathed on it to make it work.
Right? Yeah, call anybody. We didn't have YouTube back then to show us everything.
What is this?
It's called the brick game.
How do you play?
It's Tetris before Tetris.
There's no music
Here,
and no one
you try.
talks.
Why do you need to talk?
Characters.
'Cause we don't know
Except
how to
that
play.
guy.
Yeah, just move the bricks.
Rotate? How do you rotate? Is that a good sound or a bad sound?
I don't think it's good.
Have you ever won this game, Dad?
Yes.
Ooh, check this out. Mario Kart.
This is the one right here. This is so great.
So do you put this thing in here?
Yes, that's
a
where all the
lot
games.
of wire. What is this?
That's what you need to play the game.
Ooh, Mario Kart. I love this game. Let's do it.
Wait, let me. First, you gotta put it the right way.
Oh, sorry.
Now let's play. Pick your players.
I want to.
Who is your favorite?
Peach.
I'll be Toad.
Uh-oh. Peach versus Toad. If it's hard to see, just move closer, okay? Here you go, just ready? Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Push forward. There we go. There we go.
How do you
This-
move?
Try this one.
Which one?
This one.
Oh, there we go.
I'm going fast. How do you use
Yeah,
it?
collect those boxes. There you go. See? Just like the other game. Collect the boxes. Pick up another box. Oh no. Get a box. Oh no.
I'm third.
Okay, you're eighth, your last place? Let me see this.
Yeah.
Let me see this. Let me see.
Okay.
Let me see.
Look at me go.
I'm coming up. I'm coming up.
Still an eighth.
Here we go. Here we go.
Seventh.
Seventh. Here I go. Here I go. One. Boom. One. Oh yeah, fourth. Look at that. That's right. What does it say? What does it say now? What does it say?
First
First
place.
place. Uh-oh. Get out of the way, Donkey Kong. Get out of the way, Donkey Kong. No. Get out of the way. Get out of the way. Get out of the way.
Yeah.
I am not as rusty as I thought.
Not bad, Dad. It's just so different from our games now. No touchscreen.
No fancy graphics.
It has changed a lot. But even when everything around us changes, you know one thing we can always count on is God. In fact, Hebrews 13:8 says Jesus Christ is the same yesterday, today, and forever.
That's pretty amazing. That's our God, and that's why we worship Him. His love, His power, and His promises never change.
And that's why today's one thing says, the God who saved the 3 men in the fire is the same God I can worship. I mean, you guys, we can worship the God who has the power to save men from burning inside a fiery furnace. God still has that kind of power even today.
So even if you don't see an amazing miracle like that today, know and believe that God is still working and still powerful. He wants to do amazing things in your life. And if you're waiting to see God's good plans, or maybe things feel tough right now, you can still choose to worship Him. Maybe even thank God that He is looking out for you, always, even if you can't see Him.
Because remember, that God who saved those men in the fire is your God. He loves you and protects you and is with you. That's the God who you can worship.
That's all for today's throwback. But anyone up for some Zelda? Check this out. gold cartridge.
Wow.
Oh yeah, I've got to see this.
Bye,
Bye, friends. Wow, Emmy and Madeline really got to experience what video games used to look like. That looked so fun. But they also reminded us that even though there are things in this world that change, like video games, God never does. So don't forget our one thing for today. The God who saved the 3 men in the fire is the same God I can worship. This God we read about and learn from every week together in the Bible doesn't change. He is the same yesterday, today, and forever, which is the reason we can worship Him no matter what happens. So let's go ahead and bow our heads and pray together. God, you are consistent. You have never changed and you never will. Thank you for being with us in the tough times, the happy times, and even in the fun and silly times. We praise you for all that right now. No matter what, help us to choose to worship you regardless of what is happening around us. Help others come to know you through our trust in you. Amen. All right, come back next week as we jump into another story from the Bible. See you then. Bye.